Joining us on the line is Representative August Fluger, new member of Congress from the great state of Texas. He represents the Permian Basin, the largest oil and gas producing region in the nation. Congressman Fluger, really appreciate the time.
Ben, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
So let's talk about the fact that apparently we are back in the 1970s. We have inflation, we have gas lines, and we have Middle Eastern conflict. It's all fantastic. So what do you make of the latest pipeline hack? The Biden administration has suggested that things will get back to normal. They've also suggested that it is up to the pipeline owners to decide whether or not to pay a ransom to a group, which is a very weird take, considering that 45% of all gas produced and distributed on the East Coast on the southeastern coast is now in danger. What do you make of all of this?
Well, my background, 20 years in the Air Force, fighter pilot, spent a lot of time in the Middle East. You're right. It is kind of a throwback, and it's strange to be here. And I've been talking about energy security as national security, and this administration seems to not get that, and they don't understand just how important critical infrastructure is, how important affordable, reliable energy is. And we see now the effects. 45% of the East Coast gets their fuel from this Colonial Pipeline. And if we shut that down, we saw this in the winter storms in Texas. It was terrible. And that was an act of God, if you will. But now we have this cyber crime where they're holding Colonial Pipeline hostage, not able to deliver the needed fuel up there. And the Biden administration doesn't seem to understand that our way of life revolves around affordable, reliable energy that the Colonial Pipeline delivers. So first off, we need to get to the facts. And as a member of Homeland Security, we need to know what happened, who the actors are, what they want, and we need to hold them accountable and then move on to protect our infrastructure so that we don't have to be dependent on the Middle East or on anybody else for our energy needs.
Yeah, Congressman Fluger, one of the things that this administration has made quite clear is that they do not like the oil and natural gas industry. They shut down the Keystone XL pipeline pretty much right away. They have suggested that the real problem in Texas was not, in fact, the reliance on green energy at all. That was not even a factor. It was really just the failures of natural gas and oil and coal, which is pretty astonishing considering it was exactly those resources that had to ramp up to meet the failures of the green energy in Texas. Yeah, what do you make of this administration's support for the Green New Deal, and what does it mean for energy policy?
Well, it's weakening America. Meanwhile, China is continuing just to laugh about this, and looking at the fact that we've rejoined the Paris Climate Accords, which, by the way, will actually increase our emissions. We have brought our emissions to record lows in the last decade. And so you're right. The winter storm, well, it's because you didn't have enough reliance on solar and wind. Look, it's going to take all the energy we can muster in the next 15 years with population growth. But base load capacity comes from one of three sources. It's either natural gas, it's either coal or nuclear, and period dot. And natural gas has lifted 1 billion people out of poverty worldwide. And the administration has completely turned a blind eye to the good that has done in places like Africa and the Indian subcontinent around the world.
So when it comes to this administration, obviously, they have the energy crisis that's now consuming them. We have a Middle Eastern war on the horizon, and we have apparently a continued border security problem. So you're obviously in a border state. We keep hearing from the media that this is mitigating, or is the media just not really paying attention to it anymore because, after all, it doesn't affect Biden positively?
No, I don't think that they're doing their jobs to look at the facts. And the fact is that we've had a record number of illegal immigrants crossing our border. My district is 28,000 square miles, and we're not a border district, but we come about 100 miles from the border. Ben, last week, we had a stash house that was uncovered in Midland, Texas, with 33 illegal immigrants, Guatemalans, allegedly being trafficked. I mean, why else would 33 people be in a house? The people that are benefiting from this are the coyotes, the cartels, the drug traffickers, the human traffickers. I've been to the border. We've called on the president and the vice president to go to the border to listen to their agents, ICE agents, Border Patrol agents, and they will tell you they don't have enough resources. They're not getting what they need. We've halted construction on the border wall. We've overturned policies like Remain in Mexico, which have made our country, not just our border, but our country less secure.
Congressman August Fluger, he, of course, is from Texas. Thanks so much for what you're doing and really appreciate your time and your insight.
Well, I sure appreciate it, Ben. Thank you.